Also our wakili, so he'll be able to also speak to us to some of those points that the DPP is talking about.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, allow me also to go by the protocols that have already been established to save on time. Your Excellency, umezungumza na ukasema kwamba hapa lazima tuzungumze ukweli mtupu. Na kwa sababu nataka nifuate nyayo zako, pia mimi ngoja nizungumze ukweli mtupu kuhusu hili swala. Na kabla sijazungumza, naona walanguzi wachache hapa madawa kulevya. Tafadhali kabla sijakutaja jina, manake nitataja. Una dakika 2 usimame utuache, manake hatuwezi kupanga ukiwa hapa, utatutatiza. Ni wataje? Sitawataja maki mama Aisha anasema tafadhali usiwataje hivi leo. Your Excellency, the solution and the problem facing us is here. Because for us to help our young people save their lives from drug abuse is to make sure that these products are not in the market. As long as these products are in the market, we'll continue losing our population. Now, Your Excellency, as a country, we pride ourselves on having the best intelligence system, one of the best, if not the best. I ask myself some questions sometimes. Why we cannot get to know the source of these drugs? For the young men in Lamu, Kilifi, Kwale, name it, to access these drugs, that means there's a source somewhere. There is a source somewhere that is known by the men and women who are seated here. And I was lost for words, Your Excellency, when the IG confessed here that some of the enforcement officers received calls not to apprehend these culprits. With that, Your Excellency, we are not going to win this war on drugs. Because clearly, the big boys are known, maybe the big girls too. But the reason why they cannot be apprehended is because of those phone calls. And as long as those phone calls will keep coming, our young people are going to die. Whether as leaders we'll scream, whether as leaders we will cry, as long as those phone calls will keep coming, we are going to lose this war. So going forward, Your Excellency, the kind of assurance that you've given and the kind of commitment that you've given to the enforcement officers, because, Your Excellency, there is nothing new that we've been told today. Hii shida tunajua. But the biggest weakness that has been there towards eradicating this menace is at the enforcement level. If we know these drug dealers, how comes they've not been apprehended? Today, if you go to the law courts, you'll see quite a number of young men and women who are being arraigned in court for being in possession of just one roll of bang. While the guy who has kilos, sacks and sacks of marijuana is seated pretty somewhere because he's untouched. we are targeting the wrong category. If we can be able to make sure that these products are no longer in the market, then we'll be saving our young people. And to do so, Your Excellency, we need to go to the source. And with our intelligence system, we know who these drug barons are. As leaders, and I'm speaking on behalf of the leadership of the region, we are behind these efforts, Your Excellency, have no doubt. And I can speak here without any fear or contradiction that none of us were elected pursuant to funds, using funds from drug dealers. None of us benefited or has benefited from that kind of dirty funds. And therefore, on this war, you have partners in the leadership of this region. We are not just speaking because we're in this conference, but we mean it. And whatever recommendations that will be adopted from this particular conference, Your Excellency, have us as your partners in this war. But again, as I end my remarks, haya yote nimezungumza ni 9, 10 na la muhimu. We need those big boys behind bars if you're to make any meaningful progress in this war. How many of our boys in their thousands will be arraigned in court? Wakitolewa, wengine wanaletwa. How many rehabilitation centers will our governors build to, take in the thousands of our young people who are hooked to drugs? But Your Excellency, if we are able to nab the supplier, there'll be no child being arraigned in court because he's been found with a sachet of heroin. And that is where we ought to start. That is where we need to put all our efforts. How I wish the IG disclose this powerful person who can call his office na anatetemeka. Who is this who can call the IG's office? And they're let scot-free. They're out there feeding our young people with all the poison they can feed them on. So again, IG, mkubwa amesema, I know hiyo simu haikutoka kwa Rigiji. That I'm very sure. I know that phone call never came from His Excellency, the President of this country. Who is this? Who can call your office, and because of that call, they cannot be arrested? If you're to win this, we need to have the will and the commitment, more particularly from our enforcement unit. But otherwise, Your Excellency, count the leadership of the region as a partner in this war. Thank you.
Thank you, the Honorable Speaker. Now, on behalf of the 6 counties, I would want to call on the Governor for Kwale, then followed by the Governor for Taita Taveta. At least let's also hear what is it that the county governments are doing to help in this fight. Karibu, Governor.